Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm back here at Team Toyota in Princeton. Take a look at a brand new 2023 Toyota Prius. This is the XLE all-wheel drive, and this is Team Toyota's first new Prius, all new, all redesigned for the 2023 model year. So let's see what this benchmark car in the hybrid market brings to the table, and let's dig in. Front end of this Prius looks so cool with that really low slung hood, LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, LED turn signals, which are separate from the daytime running lights, which I really like. You have that wonderful wind chill white all over the front of this car with flat black on the grille, which makes sense, as well as that brushed aluminum down the lower part of the grille, which I really like. So a really nice look on the front end of this Prius. Now, to give you an idea what this hood looks like, we're going to move in a little closer here and just see how low and bullet shaped this Prius is on the front end, to just make it glide through the air and deliver those big MPGs. And that's the idea behind this design, and it's so much better than the previous generation. Without a doubt, it is just an incredible designed car. Wheel and tire setup on this Prius. We have a 19-inch wheel, gunmetal gray, silver accents, looks really good. Toyota badge in the center cap. Standard brake and rotor, so nothing crazy with the brakes. These 19-inch wheels are wrapped in Toyo all-season tires, 195 on the width, a 50 series sidewall, 19s, all four corners, all-wheel drive. Full side profile on this Prius with that bullet nose looking so good. The way everything flows towards the rear seating area where the roof peaks and then falls away on the hatchback, just is gorgeous how they designed this. We have no door handle on the rear door. The door handle is actually up in the window surround, but on the front door you have a standard door handle. I thought maybe they'd smooth them both out. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. We do have gloss black around the wheel arches. Let me know how you feel about that. But overall, this color is stunning. And we have the left side fuel filler cap. And this reminds me, you might think I'm crazy, but the DNA of this design reminds me of an Aston Martin Vantage. Let me know what you think in the comments. As we move in closer to this Prius, I told you about that gloss black on the wheel arches. I think it plays off well against the white. Let me know what you think. Should it all be body color or not? We now have gloss black on the side view mirrors. And then, again, color matched on the front door handle. The rear door handle is tucked up right here behind the window surround. And then we have a left side fuel filler cap. Up top, black roof. Love it. Shark fin antenna, all glass roof. And so they've blacked it out all the way. And with this white, I think that was a really smart move. Let me know what you guys think. Rear end of this Prius, I just love what they've done with the design of this car. We have a nice little kick up as that hatchback comes down to the back of the car with the Toyota badge right underneath. XLE over on the right. Prius spelled out right underneath that blacked out top. I think it looks great. HEV sitting on the bottom right for hybrid electric vehicle. And then down below you have more gloss black around the license plate area. And then the exhaust is tucked up underneath the right side of the car. But one little Easter egg that unfortunately I can't show you, but behind the license plate here, if we took this license plate off, there's a little Easter egg that says Prius since 1997, which I think is really cool. We're underneath the hood of this 2023 Prius, and what are we looking at? We got a 2-liter naturally aspirated inline 4-cylinder engine mated to a CVT transmission, 196 horsepower, 139 pound-feet of torque. MPGs is where you're the big winner, 49 in the city, 50 on the highway. The engine's minimum octane rating is 87, so you can run this on regular unleaded gas. Before we get into the interior of this Prius, you're going to want to know, Mike, how much does this gorgeous wind chill Prius cost? Well, MSRP For the XLE all-wheel drive trim, the way this is optioned, $36,698. So let's check out the interior. Starting with the footbox, a nice large dead pedal brake and accelerator, all rubber finish. I like the way that all-season floor mat goes up over the dead pedal so it doesn't get all beat up. You have Prius on the all-season mat, which is a nice touch. On the seats, you have power seats for the driver, manual seats for the front passenger, and then we have this lovely Soft-Tex material. Looks like leather, feels like leather, but it's not leather. With the piping, with the stitching, nice and soft, nice headrests, nice bolstering, just feels really good to the touch here on the interior of this Prius. Door panel action, nice soft touch material up top. I love the use of the flat black around the brushed aluminum door handle. Flat black on the switchgear, and a very nice soft armrest on the door. Great design on the door. We come to the dash, soft touch up top, some of this fingerprint resistant plastic black trim here. We have that ambient lighting that you can see running across the dash, which looks really cool. And then down below, we have a nice large glove box. Infotainment system time, what do we got here? We got this 12.3-inch Toyota's infotainment system with over-the-air updates for maps and for all the software you need, which means you need to log in and set up a profile to get the navigation to come up. So unfortunately, I can't show you the navigation because this car just came in. It is for sale, and I can't put my email and everything in there to get this to work, so it is what it is. But along the side you have your menu items where you can go into your music, you can go ahead and connect your phone, you can go into your vehicle settings, and you can change your climate, and you can look at your options for there. Look how nice and quick this is. I mean, just beautiful as far as that goes. Vehicle alerts, you can change those. Energy flow, you can see how the energy in the hybrid system is going. So really nice setup here on the Prius in this infotainment system. I just wish I could have shown you the nav. Now, as we go to reverse, we have a nice large backup camera without trajectory. So I need Toyota to update this backup camera. It's a little bit older. And it needs more clarity, and it needs the trajectory, especially in a brand new Prius. So that's one thing I'm not in love with here in this Prius. But you can't love everything, right? Down below that, you got 2 heat and air vents, the Prius name right there, 4-way hazards. Here's your engine start. And then down here, you have your 3 stages of heated seats for the driver and the front passenger. And then you have your manual controls for your climate control, or you can go ahead and just sit there and adjust this and turn it on. And now we have a single zone climate control here in this XLE all-wheel drive. But you do have the heated seats, which is a nice touch. Moving further down, you have a 2 USB-Cs, and if I can open this up, crying out, there we go, a 12-volt. Nice touch there. Now you have your storage area right here, which is nice. And then come down further, and you have 2 cup holders and your Prius key. Pretty simple. Unlock, lock, panic button, Toyota badge, and on the back it says, if I can hold it the right way, Prius. So nice and done, nice and light. As we come down further, here is the gear shift to go through the CVT. Now, this is a little bit strange in how it operates because I'm dense and it took me a few minutes to figure it out. So what you do is you got to put your foot on, obviously, on the brake to shift it, but you move it towards you to the left, and then you can go forward for reverse or back to drive. And that drive button is lit up now. But you have to move it to the left first. If you don't, then it tries to go into B. So you got to move it to the left, then back, or forward for reverse, and then when you're done, you push that for park. Come down further. Here's our drive mode action. We'll show you those when we go through. EV only mode, and then we have our emergency brake and our traction control off, and our wireless charging pad right in there. And then we have a smaller center armrest, but it is nice and soft. And then when you open that up, you got more storage and 2 more USB-Cs. So they got you covered there. Prius steering wheel, this came right out of the BZ4X. It's identical. It's plain, it needs a little bit more bling if we're gonna put this in the Prius. Toyota badge in the middle, flat black on all the switchgear, telephone voice commands, and the trackpad to go through your digital dash on the left. On the right, you have your cruise control, drive modes, and all that other action on the right side. On the stalks, we have our headlights and windshield wipers on the right. And then down here, we have our adaptive high beams. This is to warm up the windshield wiper. For the lack of a better term, is to warm up the windshield wipers in the winter so they'll wipe the snow right off your car for you. So that's what that is. It has some official name, but I can't remember what the hell it's called. And then our heated steering wheel. We have a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then we have the same BZ4X setup for the dash, where it is way forward towards the windshield, almost mimicking a head-up display. So that is interesting. So as we go through our drive modes, we have Sport, Custom, Sport, Normal, and Eco. And those are your choices for this. And we're going to leave it in Eco for the drive today to see what kind of mileage we can get. But it's pretty simple. It's not crazy with its design. If we hit our top left button on the steering wheel, then you can manipulate some action and you can get over and make some changes to how you want to have your dashboard set up. So that's a nice looking action there. And then of course you have more of your settings, music, trip odometer, right? Eco action. So they got all sorts of action going on this dash. And it's nice and simple and easy to read. And for me, I'm 5'11", so I have the steering wheel all the way up. And this is my head level right here. So with the steering wheel all the way up, I have no problem seeing over it to see that dash, or if you want to call it modified head-up display. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Then way down by your knee, you have the button to pop the fuel filler door on the car. And that's way down there by where you pull the lever to open the hood. So that is way down on the bowels of the footwell, just so you guys know where they stuck that button. Not easy to see when you're sitting up here in the dash, looking at the dash from the driver's side. And then in there, you have your brighten and dim the dash and your trip odometer stuck in way in there, right next to the steering column. Overhead console action. In order for the LED dome lights to come on and go off when you open and close the door, this green light needs to be on. And then when you open the door, lights will come on. When you close the door, lights will go off. That's right out of BZ4X as well. And then we have our glass roof, 2 panels, one over the driver and the front passenger, one over the rear passengers, but our sunshade is manual. Kind of a bummer. I would have liked to see the power shade. Let me know what you guys think. We come over to our sun visor with vanity and LED light, and then we pull it off and we have an extension to cover up that side sun. Good job. We're going to get in the back seat of this Prius. Let's see how it fits, everybody. So we're just going to jump in, seat is set for my driving position. We're in. Plenty of knee room. Plenty of headroom at 5'11", plenty of shoulder width room, nice soft text material, no seat pocket behind the driver, but we do have a seat pocket behind the front passenger. Rear command center action, not much going on there, except 2 USB-Cs for connectivity, which is a nice touch. And then door panel action, same as the front, same nice material, same nice design. There's your front door panel. And here is your rear door panel, looking good. And then as we come around to the back seats, we have our nice soft text back seats with the stitching. Everything looks good, same use of materials, same design. And then we come to our center armrest for the rear seat passengers. Nice and soft, 2 cup holders, well done. And here's our rear panel roof for the back, so the back passengers can get some light. And then here's your manual sunshade for the rear. So that's an interesting choice of how they did that. But overall, it's a really nice and comfortable place to be in the back seat of this Prius. Rear tailgate area on the Prius, all you got to do is come right up, nice and easy. Right underneath this Toyota badge is hit it, lift it up, nice and easy to come up. And there you go, we got the hatchback action with big time room and our security shade, which is easy to take off just by taking it off on either side, pulling it out and getting rid of it if you need more room. But here's your all-season Prius floor mat in the back, which is nice. And you bring that up, and here is the carpeted mat underneath that. And then we have more compartmentalized storage underneath that, which is a nice touch. We got LED lighting on one side, and then I thought maybe that was an outlet for a 12 volt, but no, it's not. We do have some side cubbies, so that's nice. We open up this thing here, and there's our battery. So we got the battery in the back of the Prius, in case you want to know where it is. But it's a really nice area for storage. And then if you want to take the rear seats down, what I'll do is I'll get rid of this security shade real quick. Now, backseat time. Here's the lever. You just push it and throw the seats down. Push it, throw the seats down. Nice and easy. Now we'll put this back up. There we go. And now you got a lot more room to throw those larger items in. So the hatchbacks are always going to give you more room. So now we have plenty of room for the front seat passengers, plenty of room for the rear seat passengers, plenty of room for cargo, 50 miles per gallon MPG. What's not to like about this vehicle? Let me know what you don't like. And now let's check out the window sticker. Here is the window sticker for this 2023 Toyota Prius XLE all-wheel drive in wind chill pearl with black interior, final assembly point, Aichi, Japan. And there it is. Feel free to zoom in, check out all the options that are inside this 2023 Prius XLE all-wheel drive. And now let's take it out for a spin. All right, so we're on the road with this 2023 Prius XLE all-wheel drive action. And I was driving a little bit to get it off the highway because this time of day on Route 1 in New Jersey is a mess. You know, what is it, 4 o'clock in the afternoon? People are going to start leaving to go home from work. So we'll hit the back roads a little bit, see what this baby's all about. But it is a really interesting car to drive. You know, I feel like I'm very similar at times to BZ4X that we did the last Toyota review, with the way the infotainment screen is and the way we have the exact same steering wheel and that far forward dash, almost quasi head-up display. But then I have an engine kicking in when I step on the gas rather than the full EV in the BZ4X. So it's kind of an interesting car to drive. The handling's very nice. You sit lower to the ground. Now, I haven't driven a Prius in 1,000 years. So I don't know what the last generation Prius was like getting into. But this Prius, when you get into it, you get down into the car. And when you get out, you have to step up out of the car. So if that's going to bother you for any reason, then this Prius might not be for you, because you got to get down into it, which is interesting. I didn't feel like it was going to sit that low to the ground just looking at it, but it does sit fairly low to the ground. But it steers beautifully, the steering nice and light, not vague at all. You point the car where you want it to go and it just goes, so that's good. We'll come around here, we'll head down the road here with sunroof cam. I'm trying to give you an idea what the cockpit's like. Nice visibility, as you can see. out the front glass, nice visibility out the side glass and all the way to the rear window. No problems with visibility at all. I love the dual panel glass roof. I think that's a really, really nice feature to brighten it up inside the cabin, because it could get pretty dark in here with this black interior, but it just glides down the road nice and easy. This CVT transmission, and you all know I'm not a huge fan of CVT transmissions, but this one, once you get it up and running, is very quiet, and you just bebop down the road and not have to worry about things as you're maximizing those MPGs like a big dog, because that's what this car is all about. It's not about sportiness, it's not about handling, it's not about 0 to 60 times. It's about everyday driving, maximizing your MPGs along with all-wheel drive. Now, if you get the front-wheel drive version of this, you're going to increase those MPGs. To what? I'm not sure. I've heard through the grapevine 60 miles per gallon, but I don't know if that's a real number or if that's total BS. So let me know if you've heard anything on that, because I haven't, and this one's all-wheel drive where we're looking at 50 on the average. So now we're just going to stop here and we're going to accelerate up to speed. I'm not going to jam the throttle down. We're just going to take it up nice and easy, and so you can hear how this transmission sounds taking off from a dead stop in 3, 2, 1. And now we're up to speed. Everything is beautiful, and as you can see, that CVT is going to keep that transmission revving, number one, to get the car up to speed, but number two, in that optimal MPG area for what you're asking it to do at the time. Now we're just gliding along and you can't hear a thing. So that's good. And now, and you know, the ride's a little bit lower to the ground, so you feel a little bit racier in here, but it's certainly not a race car. May have design cues off an Aston Vantage, but it's not that kind of performance car. Now we're going to do an emergency stop. 3, 2, 1. And we just had those brakes go off. That everything in the car went flying, and the brake, the anti-lock brake things went boop, 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 boop. But here we are, stopped. Still going in a straight line. So that works. And now we're off to the races again. So I don't know if this car is used to being put into emergency stop action, but it certainly was here on this test drive. But this is the first drive of this car. As I told you earlier, this is the first 2023 Prius that Team Toyota of Princeton has gotten in, and I think it's a winner. I think the design on this is so much better than the outgoing generation. You know, the outgoing generation, they went with a wild, futuristic moonmobile look, which I thought just had way too much going on for my own personal taste. This is more my style. It's smooth, it's curvy, it looks luscious, especially on the rear haunches. It just makes you want to stare at it. And I think you can't be more complimentary to that on the design of this new Prius. Now, do I wish it was a little bit more Prius personalized on the inside? Sure. Do I want to feel like I'm driving a gas-powered BZ4X, which is what I see in the steering wheel and the dash? Maybe I'd like something different. I understand what they're trying to do here, because obviously you have economies of scale and every car can't have all this different interior. Toyota's got to try to keep things together and in the same design language, and I can understand that. But the steering wheel looks too boring for this car, and they need to bling it up some, I think. But it drives really, really well. And if you don't care about the steering wheel or having that dash way up in front of you, then I think you're going to enjoy this car. I'm certainly enjoying this ride right now. We're averaging almost 40 miles to the gallon, and we've done a 0 to 60 and an emergency brake test on this, which isn't good for gas mileage. So can't blame it for that. And now we're just zipping down the road, nice and easy. Really nice. You can get some road noise. That's what I was listening for. There is a little road noise from the tires. But you are lower to the ground, and you're less insulated from that kind of noise when they have you this low to the ground. But a turning radius is very good. U-turns, not a problem. Some cars have a turning radius like a pig. This one is fairly good. And the seats are fairly comfortable. But the XLE all-wheel drive is the mid-range trim. You have 3 trims for the new Prius, right? You have LE, XLE, and Limited, all with all-wheel drive variants or front-wheel drive options. So that's nice that they give you those options. And in the Northeast, I like the idea of having all-wheel drive in my Prius because I can get some good MPGs. And when I get some bad weather, I know I got the all-wheel drive that's going to help me out and get me home safely if I'm getting snow or something like that in the winter. So I'm very, very pleased overall with the drive of this car. I'm very, very pleased with how it looks. I'm so glad Toyota just did a 180-degree change in their design from the previous generation, came up with something new, sleek, and beautiful. And I think that's what this car is. I can't believe I'm saying that about a Prius, but it's sleek and it's beautiful. So now we're heading back to the dealership. But I wanted to give you the sneak peek of this. I guess it's not a sneak peek. The car's actually out. Stop trying to tell people this is a sneak peek, Mike. I wanted to give you an idea how this car drove, what it looked like. They just got this in and all set up and ready to go. Once we're done with our drive, they're going to clean it up one more time and then put it in the showroom for sale. But let me know what you think. Are you going Prius? With this new Prius, the way it looks, are you going Prius? Because this is the most beautiful hybrid you've ever seen. Certainly is for me. If I was going hybrid car, I'd be seriously looking at this car. It's such a pretty car. Or are you going elsewhere for your hybrid action? Are you going to the competitors such as the Hyundai Elantra hybrid? Get similar gas mileage, right? So that's a possibility. Hyundai Sonata hybrid. Get similar mileage. That's a possibility. Honda Accord. But not as good as this. Not as good as this. This is all-wheel drive at 50 mpgs. You put all-wheel drive in those other cars, they're going to be a little bit less. And with front-wheel drive, this car is in the high 50s. 58, 59, maybe even 60 if what I've heard is correct. So nobody's going to touch the Toyota Prius as far as maximizing those MPGs. Are you getting a lot of power and sportiness to this car? No. But that's not what this car is about. It's about point A, point B, smooth drive, competent steering, and maximizing those MPGs. That's what this car is all about, and that's all that it's all about. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. How do you like the car? How do you like the way it looks on the interior? I know I was trying to give you an idea with the cockpit, but my 2 displays keep flashing on and off from daytime to nighttime because we're at that part of the day where the way the sun hits the car, the screens think it's nighttime out and they've dimmed down. So that's why you can't see it all that clearly. Right now we're sitting at 46 miles per gallon on this short drive today so far. But when I'm done, after I sign off from the drive, I will take a quick video of this dash so you can see what the final MPG numbers were for this drive in this Prius. And are we going to hit 50? I don't know. Brand new engine, and you know you're going to have a break-in period, so I wouldn't hold this drive against it if we don't make the number. But 45.5 on, you know, a 6-mile drive around the highway and doing an emergency brake test and doing an acceleration test, that's pretty damn good in my book. But let me know what you think about this car. I want to thank Team Toyota of Princeton for hitting the bat phone and saying, Mike, we just got this in. It's coming out of PDI. In a couple hours, it's going to be ready to film. Get your butt down here. And I said, Roger, Dodger that. I put it down, got in the car, drove over here. It was all ready for me to film, beautiful and clean. So thank you so much to Team Toyota Princeton for that today. I would like to thank all of you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. Please also consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you'll never miss another Shabby's Rides video. And I'll see all of you, on the rebound. Take care, everyone.